What a way for Mr. Hansi Flick to visit the Bernabeu and take Real Madrid to the cleaners, absolutely annihilating them in their own stadium. As Barcelona won 4-0 and goes 6 points clear of Real Madrid and arch rivals for this moment in time. But guys, as always, please do subscribe to the channel. It's going to help us a lot to get this family to grow bigger. We upload weekly Barcelona content only, and I know you'll love this channel if you are a diehard Barcelona fan. In the build-up phase, it was refreshing to see that we didn't see both Lamine Yamal and Rafinha high. And Rafinha in particular had very good and better positioning than we saw him have in the first game, where he was willing to press and then often the ball could be found in behind, like against Bayern Munich. He had much better positioning, and it was actually Lewandowski who was leading the press up front. The times when they did play the ball over Rafinha's head, because he was so deep, he actually made it back in time in order to cover Lucas Vazquez. But the instances where we did see Lamine Yamal press, we saw that all of these guys were willing to go man to man in order, even when they dropped deep, the likes of Camavinga, you saw that they were willing to press. And if the outlet here was Ferland Mendy, you saw that Koundé was also willing to go up high in order to press him, where you saw a very good battle between Vincentus and Kubarsi as well. I want to give credit to Hansi Flick here, because I do think keeping Lamine Yamal there constantly would have been suicide, and Real Madrid would have had the ball into Mendy many a times as they could. But we actually also saw that Fermin Lopez was pressing from an angle, both for Militao and also for Lunin, in order to get the ball over to that side. And then Robert Lewandowski would jump into a press trying to cut the passing lane. And that is when Vazquez were dropping, Rafinha could actually follow him. So Rafinha being a little bit deeper and then going into the press, that would ultimately force Real Madrid to go long. It seems as though in the first half, Lamine Yamal got a lot more responsibilities defensively, especially the instances where he had to go and press. Because when the ball came over his head, you saw that he would run back. But also in the instances where he didn't make it back in time, Fermin Lopez or Casado would jump into these areas. So the wing was very well covered when Lamine Yamal was pressing up high, and that is maybe why Barcelona couldn't find the rhythm in the first half, because Rafinha brings a lot more energy. So Lamine Yamal was mainly the guy pressing most of the time at least. When Barcelona looked to build up, we did see that Vincentus and Turtle did come as a front too, but they didn't initiate a press. They first wait till Barcelona played the first ball into Casado or Pedri before they actually would press to those guys. But luckily they were really good at turning the guys inside out and moving in these tight areas as well. You also saw that Jules Koundé did move from his position into the midfield here, so that Lamine Yamal can receive the ball to draw out Lucas, and then Fermin would run ahead of him to get in behind. In the earlier stages of the game, Ancelotti actually copied what Bayern Munich did. They wait for the ball to move, and then Vincentus and Turtle would put on the pressure, where Camavinga would come out, and then Bellingham and Valverde would sit on the immediate options. But man, how good is Robert Lewandowski coming in, receiving these balls, and just turning on the half turn and then just get the ball off the pitch and also drawing fouls. Through the mid phase, we saw that Barcelona still kept as much as possible their two centre backs, even though Real Madrid can press with a front two. You would occasionally see Casado drop deep, but mostly, like I said, it was Pedri coming collecting the ball to create this 2-on-1 numerical advantage. But the weird positioning of Jude Bellingham was striking me very odd, because you saw it was Valverde in this instance that was at the tip of the diamond, and Bellingham was more towards the left, and he found himself many a times in one-on-one situations. Maybe Madrid wanted to have Lucas Vazquez, in the half space in order to defend Rafinha, because we know that Rafinha is going to come inside and leave this flank all to Alejandro Balde. In the early stages of the game, I saw something very interesting from Lamine Yamal. Like right off the bat in the game, he started dropping already deep into these areas, allowing Koundé to go forward, and he was looking to create. I think that maybe has something to do with Vinicius pressing. But even as far as going into the pivot position, Lamine Yamal was dropping, and he was running in these half space very, very narrow and very deep into the midfield as a player. The reason why Barcelona was struggling to arrive in the final third has a lot to do with Lamine Yamal's positioning, because we know that the left side often is not an outlet, that Balde only goes towards that wing once the ball gets circulated over to him, right? Because Rafinha most of the time plays as a midfielder. So Jules Koundé actually had other responsibilities of actually defending as a back three, and Lamine Yamal didn't go out wide. So many times when Barcelona would look, there was nobody on that wing. And Fermin Lopez was actually also tasked to keep the width on that side. So Lamine Yamal, I don't know what this was, but Lamine Yamal was very central in this game over here. That is all we can tell you from the first half and what was different and what was going on tactically between these two managers. And Mr. Flick outclassed, of course, Real Madrid in the second half. But in the first half, things were very stale for Barcelona, mainly due to that positioning of Lamine Yamal. But guys, as always, please do subscribe to the channel. It's going to help us a lot to get this family to grow bigger. We upload weekly Barcelona content only. I want to thank you guys for your undying support and always clicking on my videos. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.